Good day and welcome to Alena Media TV. We are broadcasting from Canada. I am Elsa Abraham, and in this episode we are bringing you African news. Here is your headlines. Men are being forced to rape their relatives, and women are being gang raped in front of their families in spite of horrific sexual violence in Ethiopia's Tigray region, UN warns. And in our second story, Ethiopia's PM says Eritrea will withdraw troops from the Tigray region. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, is our news in details. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break. Now, women have been gang raped at gunpoint and men forced to rape their own family members amid a wave of horrifying sexual violence in Ethiopia's Tigray region, the United Nations has been told. Wafa said, aid coordinator in Ethiopia, told member states that more than 500 rape cases have been reported at 5 medical centers in the northern state, but that the true number is likely to be far higher since most women don't report cases to the hospital. Women say they have been raped by armed actors. They also told stories of gang rape in front of family members, and men being forced to rape their own siblings under the threat of violence, she said. It is just the latest tale of terror to emerge from Tigray since Ethiopia Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced a government offensive against regional leaders in November last year. Ahmed, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, said that assault was aimed at the TPLF party, which had ruled Ethiopia for 3 decades until 2012 and continued to control the Tigray region, defying his attempts to bring it under federal control. But the attack, which also dragging in soldiers from neighboring Eritrea, has unleashed a wave of ethnic violence that has been civilians indiscriminately killed. With hundreds of thousands displaced and left without food, most of the internally displaced people left with nothing more than the clothes they are wearing. Some told the UN on Thursday. They are generally traumatized and tell stories of the difficult journey they took in search of safety. Some reported walking for 2 weeks and some as far as 300 miles, said on Thursday. It's too painful, Daddy. This is the last words of a 7-year-old girl who was gang raped. Ethiopia and Eritrea soldiers have been waging a 5-month war against regional leaders in Tigray, unleashing a wave of ethnic violence that has targeted civilians of the people who traveled with them. Some were reportedly killed, particularly youngsters. People were reportedly beaten. Women were subject to rape. Some were pregnant and delivered on the way, losing their babies. The United Nations has raised concerns about atrocities, while the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has described acts carried out as ethnic cleansing. Ethiopia rejected Blinken's allegation. This week, Abiy acknowledged for the first time that atrocities such as rape had been committed and said any soldier committing crimes would be punished by the law. But some of the worst atrocities have been blamed on soldiers from Eritrea, meaning Abiy's ability to act against them is limited. The Ethiopian government attacked Tigray in November last year after accusing regional leaders of an assault on a military base, plunging the border region into chaos. Dozens of witnesses in Tigray have told the media that Eritrean soldiers routinely killed civilians, ganged, raped and tortured women, and looted hundreds of crops. Eritrea has not responded to queries on reports of these atrocities. In a major announcement on Friday, Abiy Ahmed said that Eritrean soldiers have agreed to leave the region just 5 days after he acknowledged for the first time that they were even there. Eritrea has agreed to withdraw its forces out of the Ethiopian border. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said in a statement on Twitter the day after arriving in Eritrea's capital, Asmara, to meet President Isaias Afwerki. The Ethiopian National Defense Force will take over guarding the border area effective immediately, Abiy said. And in our last story for today, Ethiopia's PM says Eritrea will withdraw troops from Tigray. Eritrea will pull its troops out of the Tigray region, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has said, a potential breakthrough in a conflict in which both countries have been accused of abuses against civilians. Abiy, winner of the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, faces mounting pressure to end fighting in the drawn-out conflict in which troops are thought to have carried out mass killings and rape. Abiy sent troops into Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray on 4th November after blaming its once dominated ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, for attacks on army camps. For months, both countries denied that Eritrean troops were in Tigray, contradicting accounts from residents, aid workers, diplomats, and even some Ethiopian civilian and military officials. On Tuesday, in an appearance before lawmakers, Abiy finally admitted to Eritrea's role, then on Thursday flew to the country's capital, Asmara, to meet with President Isaias Afwerki. Abiy said in a statement on Twitter on Friday that during that visit, the government of Eritrea has agreed to withdraw its forces out of the Ethiopian border. The Ethiopian National Defense Force will take over guarding the border areas effective immediately. Eritrea's Information Minister, Yemane Gebremeskel, has been asked for comment. Ethiopia and Eritrea fought a border war beginning in 1998 that led to tens and thousands of people dead and resulted in a 20-year stalemate. Abiy won his Nobel Peace Prize in large part of initiating a surprise reapproachment with Isaias after taking office in 2018, but Eritrea and the TPLF remain bitter enemies. In his wide-ranging speech to Parliament on Tuesday, Abiy said that the Eritrean people and government did a lasting favor to our soldiers during the conflict in Tigray. His statement on Friday noted that the TPLF fired rockets on Asmara multiple times, thereby provoking the Eritrean government to cross Ethiopian borders and prevent further attacks and maintain its national security. Yet, Abiy has acknowledged only that Eritrean troops took over areas along the border, including the trenches dug during the border war, after they were abandoned by Ethiopian soldiers. Rights groups and Tigrayan residents have described a much deeper Eritrean presence. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have also accused Eritrean troops of killing hundreds of Tigrayans in a massacre in November in the town of Axum. The media has documented a massacre allegedly carried out by Eritrean troops in the town of Dengalet also in November, during a visit this month to the town of Wukro, 30 miles north of the regional capital, Mekelle. Residents said Eritrean soldiers were still present, sometimes donning Ethiopian uniforms to disguise themselves. Abiy told lawmakers that any abuses carried out by Eritrean soldiers would be unacceptable, and that he had raised the issue 4 or 5 times with Asmara. The Tigrayan opposition party, Salse Yenawe Tigray, said on Friday that any agreement about Eritrea's withdrawal would be useless without an international regulatory board to check. Hailu Kebede, also told head of the party's foreign affairs department, said on Twitter that it is another level of deception, a game they have been playing for a long time. Withdraw all forces and establish an international observatory team. The world mustn't be fooled again. The U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, has called for the exit of Eritreans as well as forces from Ethiopia's Amhara region who have played a key role in securing parts of western and southern Tigray. Officials in Amhara, however, say that those parts of Tigray rightfully belong to them. Abiy claimed victory in Tigray in November after Ethiopian troops took Mekelle, but TPLF leaders remain on the run and fighting continues. This is where we end today's episode on African News. Please like, share, comment. Let us know your thoughts on this particular episode. Thanks for watching.